Good morning and welcome to IAC 2024 here in Milan. It's day number 2 and what a start yesterday, wasn't it, Emma?
Absolutely, quite
fantastic.
exciting.
So, Milan reports outside 13 degrees, but of course it's hard to catch for us daylight here while in the halls. As every morning we are broadcasting here live from the DLR booth, thank you very much to the entire team for hosting us and running this entire technology so smooth behind the scenes. So thanks for the team that is involved in that. And as always, I'm here with our editor-in-chief, Dr. Emma Gatti. Emma, how are you doing today?
I am very well. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the ISC in Milan. It was a very indeed surprising day. It was the opening ceremony, a bit of fireworks, but we had the chance to listen to some interesting talks in the afternoon. So I think we're looking forward to report them today.
Yeah, absolutely. What were your highlights yesterday? Or your takeaways to condense it?
My highlights, my observation is that, so my favorite session yesterday was about the space agency's leaders, so a sort of interview to several leaders from different West and East space agencies. And I think there was ESA, of course, there was ASE, but there was also Canada. But what I think was very interesting, which is one of the most peculiar thing of the IAF and ISC, is that there was China. Okay, so there was Guoping Li, which is the chief engineer of China National Space Administration. And this is very unique of this event. We have been in Colorado, we have been in several US-led events, and we know that it's impossible to hear the Chinese perspective. The unicity of the ISC is trying to build the bridge between East and West. And so seeing China on stage, expressing their view of the space mission, the IRS, after we heard about Artemis, of course, I think it was fundamental. And if I can steal another couple of minutes to give you my perspective on what China say, they gave some very interesting dates. So manned mission to the moon by 2030, new mission to Mars, Tiangong-3, 2028, and initial design of the ILRS mission finished by 2035. And these are interesting dates because one of my experience with China is that when they give a date, it's set.
I mean, what they say.
They are not on they are always on time. So another interesting thing, they were asked about the concept of sustainability in space. And again, this was the unique moment when we could finally hear China speaking about sustainability in space without filtering by a Chinese representative. And what they said is information sharing regarding the target and the landing. And this is very interesting because it's one of those points when the US and China fight, because the US tells China that they are not transparent enough, and then China tells the US they are not transparent enough. So what's going on here when it comes to dialogue? More international collaboration. So China yesterday used this platform obviously and clearly to call for collaborators, call for international partners. They were very clear on that. We want to collaborate with you. The doors are open. And then they mentioned the UN as a fundamental international entity framework that should smooth the communication and should be the platform where all the international players communicate. And this is also very interesting because this is not the first time that China calls for a UN intervention when it comes to smoothing the relationship. And I think this is a profound difference and one of the key points to understand the tension that we have in geopolitical in space when it comes to China Absolutely. And the US.
No, I just can confirm I've been in June at the UN Lunar Day, and China was a big player and supported this event really in big scale. So there is a desire, obviously, for an international conversation that we have.
And another highlight, which I thought was an interesting point, there was Lisa Campbell from the Canadian Space Agency, and she mentioned the collaboration with ESA, the strong collaboration between Canada and ESA, and of course this is something proven. They had a long track of collaboration. What I think is interesting, and I would have liked to ask, but it was a plenary, so it's impossible to ask question, is how is the collaboration between non-European space agencies, Norway, Canada, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, and the European Commission. Because of course, we're having a tension, in my opinion, between ESA, who obviously is open to collaboration and wants to collaborate with international partners, aka Canada or Switzerland or Norway, and then the European Commission, who instead is trying to close the shop and try to keep the funding and the results and all the European structure within the member states. So this is something that I would like to, for example, understand how Canada and Norway are dealing with ESA, but more importantly, with the EU Commission.
Great. If I and my generation would argue that my Facebook status would be complicated in that in that case.
It's complicated indeed,
Right.
absolutely. So this was my day, because I'm an hard worker, Torsten.
Yes.
How
yeah.
about you? How was your night? Where did you go party last night?
I mean, as I'm known as a party animal, not really, but okay. My first challenge was to try to find my way around here in these halls, to find the right spots at the right time. It's super complicated. It's very badly marked, and the app is not helpful. So please, IAF, do something about that. You can do better. We have seen it. So, but at the end, I made it. But my highlight definitely was, I have to talk about the reception. Sorry for that.
Go speak about the reception. It's okay.
The New Zealand reception yesterday here in the NH hotel. They had haka and dancers and really an outstanding entertainment there. Thank you, New Zealand Space Agency. Thank you, NZTE, for this wonderful event. That was absolutely amazing. But we are here to work. So it's our morning show. Today we have a very special guest for you. You might have catched the news at SpaceWatch.Global about the new ISU president. As I'm a proud ISU alumni, I'm very happy that we have him today in our morning show. And with that, a very warm welcome, John Wensveen. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And Emma, would you like to interview him? Then I make space for John.
I think I can interview him, but then I don't want to, if you want to have a private moment with the ISU fellow, we can do that. I can
Later
step
on,
out
we don't do that on camera. So let me get your guest for you.
Stage.
So,
thank you very much.
John.
John, it's a pleasure. Welcome. Welcome on SpaceWatch.Global Live.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I've always heard that if you made it to the Oprah show, you made it. But I think because you're on SpaceWatch.Global, you've really made it. So thank you.
Did I just got compared to Oprah? Highlight of the entire session. John, I have no other questions for you. No, thank you so much. Welcome. We're having John Wensveen for us. He's the new president of the International Space University. John, you just stepped in as a new president, but I was wondering, what's your background, where you come from before the ISU?
So I'm very excited to be the new president of the International Space University. My background is I grew up in Vancouver, Canada, had a fascination for airplanes since I was 3 years old. When I had to evacuate a burning 747, jump out the side of the airplane, and I caught the bug, and I also caught the space bug a little bit later, and really wanted to be an astronaut, but it was not possible, unfortunately. But my background is 3 tracks. It's various roles within higher education on a global basis. It's industry, primarily the airline industry, and aerospace, and then third track is entrepreneurship, basically starting and scaling companies and then exiting those companies.
So innovation, technology, entrepreneurship. Now you are inside an academic background. The ISU comes with a legacy. And I was wondering, where do you want to take it? What's the next step for the ISU? What's your legacy you want to leave it?
So ISU has been around for 37 years, and it's got a very interesting historical background in terms of how it ended up in Strasbourg, France as the central campus, and yet our programs are all over the world. And what I've done is I've looked at 37 years of history of what we've done to support the space economy, and we have over 6,500 alumni in the world, with the majority of them in the space economy to this day at various levels. And what I see is the future, and we're looking at the future now and asking the question, what are we doing about it? So in terms of vision for ISU moving forward, we're now entering a new strategic planning process that really hasn't been done in several years, and we're calling it Moonshot 2030. And the goal here is to focus on trends, challenges, and opportunities around the space economy by developing new strategies within our programs, whether it's academic or professional development programs, research and grant initiatives, new partnership opportunities that we continue to build upon, as well as using those established partnerships to co-invest into each other and really strengthen what those relationships look like. So I see ourselves moving towards a financially self-sustaining organization in the next couple of years, which is very rare for an institution of any sort within the world of higher education, especially space. And I see that we're going to have more diverse revenue streams to bring more programming to the world based upon what the needs are for new skilling, upskilling, and reskilling, again, academic and non-academic programs, and really strengthening our role as the world's official space university.
So you mentioned, I can see a shift towards entrepreneurship, towards understanding the changes of the economic sector of the market, and you spoke about trends and challenges and opportunities, but I was wondering concretely, what do you offer to the students? What is going to call a student and say, you should come to ISU instead of another course?
Sure. So given the history of what the International Space University is, we have been traditionally the standard go-to organization for anything space, because that's all we do is space. So we're very unique in that way. So that gives a potential student, whether it's somebody looking to get into the space economy or somebody that's already in the space sector, that's maybe a mid-level management that's looking to advance their career to more of a senior role, or it is a senior executive taking advantage of our executive space courses that's looking to develop new skills so they can be the best that they can be. I think that our affiliation with space companies around the world, and now non-space companies around the world, that we are increasing our internship opportunities, so there's more hands-on experience that will be forthcoming than ever before, which is definitely a great builder on the resume, and then incorporating more skills-based training and certification, what I'll call stack credentials, into the programming, so that when you do graduate from ISU, not only do you have a degree, but you have industry certifications, different types of skill sets, hands-on experience, and have practical knowledge of what's going on within the space economy now and in the future. And that's very unique compared to other organizations that exist.
So increased partnership opportunities all around the world. So John, I thank you so much for this interview. I'll let Torsten come back in. Torsten, do you have some question for John?
No, I'm fine. I'm very happy to hear that there's a new drive at the ISU, honestly, and it's obviously deep to my heart to see progress, and I wish you good luck, and you have our support.
Well, thank you for being an alumni of ISU, and we appreciate your support. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be with you on the show this today.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much.
Great. John, thank you very much, and thank you, Emma, for this wonderful intervention
Always
and interview
wonderful.
here. So, what's up today?
What's up today?
What's on your agenda?
My agenda. So this morning we opened with the Lunar Vision, literally called Lunar Vision. Lunar Frontiers, how the non-space industry is unlocking future markets. There was a very interesting intervention by Barbara Belvisi, an old friend of SpaceWatch.Global. We interviewed her, and she says something that is not about the lunar market, but I want to market today. She was asked how she started, how she got started with Interstellar, and she said, Interstellar was born more or less 6 or 7 years ago. She's European, she's French, and she clearly stated that there will not be Interstellar today without NASA. Because when she pitched her idea, to Europe, everybody laughed about her and about her idea. She had to go to NASA Ames to pitch her idea, and NASA supported her, not Europe. And I think this is something we should reflect on. So this was how to start the day. But an interesting food for thoughts. Other things, session that I think will be interesting, there is a long session today about moon exploration, about water-based lunar vision, and I'm going to say it because, as you probably know, I'm a bit critical about water-based lunar vision when we don't have data yet to know how much water there is. So I will definitely follow it. And there is a session about IRIDE in the afternoon before I go to the European Space Investors Day, organized by space founders and supported by other very interesting partners like ASI, ESA, EGNES. So I will leave around 4 o'clock, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be here in the afternoon. But I will be in another place in Milan.
You're not here for our Space Cafe.
I'm not here for the Space Cafe. I'm really sorry about it.
That will be then on me. But Side note to you, I met yesterday evening a very interesting guy who told me he wants to harvest helium-3 on the moon to bring it back to Earth. I mean, it sounds super fantastic and visionary, but I promise you, we will dig into that and get out some more information.
How about you? What's your plan for today?
You know, hanging in here and trying to find my way around. No, there are a number of meetings that we have. I try to get more input from the show floor, not from the session. So, then at 4 o'clock, I invite you all to join our next Space Cafe, 33 minutes, live streamed here as usual, with a guest that I don't want to announce yet. The truth is, he didn't confirm it yet, but it's on the edge to get confirmed. So there will be a Space Cafe definitely later on. With that, I would say we are done with our morning show. Thank you very much for watching. We wish you a wonderful day. If you're here in Milan, have a wonderful day at the IAC. Sorry. At the IAC in Milan.
Moment of mental
too many
blindness.
shows. Yeah. And with that, Space Watch out.
Thank you so much.